Do you have any questions, sir? Good morning, sir. What was the last name again?
Lane, Brandon Lane, yeah.
You were charged with indecent exposure. You wanted to do the PC on indecent?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're charged with indecent exposure. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during any questions and interviews with the state of Texas. If you cannot afford a lawyer will be appointed to represent you, sir.
May 26, 2024, officers were dispatched to a defendant touching his private area at the Metro-owned downtown transit center located on 1900 Main Street, Harris County, Texas. The officer was advised by Metro Dispatch that the complainant called and stated that the defendant was exposing himself to her. Complainant told officers that the defendant was a black male in a blue hoodie and boarded a Metro bus, and then ultimately pointed the bus that he had boarded. Matching the description, and complainant witness confirmed that that was the same person. Complainant stated that the defendant followed her from across the street, pulled out his penis, and started exposing it to her and looking at her. She further stated that the defendant began stroking his penis back and forth with his hands, looking at her without speaking, approximately 5 to 10 feet away. The complainant stated that she was unable to tell if he was erect, but she was able to clearly see his penis as he was stroking.
Your Honor, after speaking with my client, the officers approached two males. I have to wait on body cam to see what the other male looked like, but my client's saying that wasn't him. He just...
I mean, I don't know. I think that there's probable cause to go forward now. Mr. Lane. Mr. Lane, we will get the body cam to ensure and see if that is in fact you, because we don't know. All we know is that we have someone that has identified you. I will try to have them get the do you have it now? What evidence do you have now?
This is a brand new case, Your Honor. This is the 26th, so I don't know. There's nothing in yet, so I literally just wrote this up before I came to court.
Okay, Mr. Lane, I will try to have them get the information and the body cams as quick as possible so we can verify that it is you. I would say let's try hopefully a week. The problem is that I can't give you a PR bond because you continue to take off on us. I had your evading arrest at 7503 because we can't get you here. So, okay. Do you have any questions, sir? Hey, hit the button, please.
Yes. Now I don't know. I don't know if it was necessary to see. All right. Same thing happened down there with me. That was
Hey, Ms. Hayes,
Yes, Your Honor.
can we have him evaluated, please?
On his previous case, Your Honor, his first case in your court, he was already set for a mental health evaluation, but he absconded. He's homeless. So,
The look that he was giving us, that was, did you see me eyeing you to?
yes, I moved over. Yes.
Oh, you see what I think?
Yeah.
He's pretty coherent when I'm speaking with him, but I've seen the episode coming about. So he's going to be in custody. Hopefully we can schedule the evaluation. I'll speak to the CLO and go from there.
Sure.
Thank you.
Janine.
Yes, sir. Have a big judge. We're gonna.
This is where things immediately get serious. A guilty plea means the defendant is giving up the right to fight the case at trial, and the judge already knows this isn't his first time. Notice the tension building early, repeat offenses, violence, and now the court is deciding rehabilitation or punishment. Question for you. At what point should the system stop giving chances and start getting stricter?
Plea Mr. Walter Moses, Your Honor. We're proceeding on the assault of a family member case under cause number 2510200, Your Honor. And the state, upon completion of the plea, will dismiss cause number 2510615.
Good morning, Mr. Moses. How are you?
Good.
Shh. Why does this keep happening? This is your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but it's the 6th time you've picked up a kind of case where it's a violent case. Actually, 7. It keeps happening. Why? Why so much anger? Do you take any medication?
Yes, sir.
Do you stop taking the medication?
No, sir.
How do you get your medication when you're out there in the free world? When you picked up these 2 cases, had you stopped taking the medication?
No, sir.
You were still taking it?
I actually finished, sir.
Meaning, so you finished, you didn't have any more.
Still gonna pick it up.
Council for reset?
We had him TRAS. TRAS said mental health caseload, or what did they say? And that's what we're doing, right?
Yes.
Okay. What are the other alternatives that we have?
They want to do the mental health case, IFP, maybe for a change, and then they're gonna help them with the counseling. And they'll report, twice a month. That's how they make sure that you.
What about paying for IOP and all that?
It qualifies to be the top funded one, because it's, he'll be responsible.
I mean, how do we make sure that he qualifies? Because I don't, Mr. Moses, do you work when you go out? When you're out of jail, do you work? Who do you live
Sorry,
with?
no, yes, sir. You on?
It's okay, Mr. D. Who do you live with? And when you leave here now, are you going to be able to stay with mom?
Yes, sir.
Do you know that for?
I don't know that for a fact, you on.
Before you were in jail, who were you living with?
Yeah.
Council for reset?
One of the things that you're going to have to do is an intensive outpatient treatment.
Yeah.
The problem is that it's expensive. It's not cheap. It's around $500 to $600 to do that. And I don't know if that's something that you have to be able to pay for. If not, I want to try to get you to, I want to see if we can pay for it. How do we?
I'll do an indigency form with him, and then he'll be placed on the wait list if he qualifies. He's on probation, or he'll be on probation.
If this fails, what else do we have at our disposal?
If this fails and he starts violating, then they'll place him in there. That's how it is.
So I want you to understand, Mr. Moses, that we want this to work for you. But you also have to want it to work. If you do something to violate this agreement, you don't do your treatment, you don't stay up on your probation, if you just leave, one of the options is putting you in a residential facility. Do you understand what that means?
Sir.
That means that you will be in, it's not in the actual jail, it's at another facility, right? It's at a lockdown facility that you will not be able to leave, and then you'll be getting treatment. We are trying to do it this way so that you can try to do this while you're out there in the free world, doing this by yourself. But if you're not able to, we're gonna have to take other measures. Can you get this done?
Yes, sir.
Do you know what's required for you to successfully finish?
Yes, sir.
What do you have to do? Yes. What programs do you have to do? Do you know? You have to do anger management class, right? It's a,
I think for.
Thank you for a change.
okay, so just, you have to do a thinking for a change, which is a class where you teaches you how to think when you're in a bad situation. You also have to do outpatient treatment so that we know that you're actually speaking to people, working through any kind of anger issues that you may have.
Yes, sir. And substance abuse.
And, right, and substance abuse. No drugs, no alcohol. You cannot use any illegal drugs, including marijuana. No marijuana, no illegal drugs, and no alcohol. They're going to test you. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
If you complete this successfully, you do not end up with a conviction. But you need to understand that there's still,
He will be a convicted judge, it's straight probation.
oh, it is straight.
Yes, sir, Your Honor. They-
Oh, I thought it was a
they told me
deferred.
Because he had the state jail conviction of a felony court and the numerous cases that he had that were assaultive in nature, that they were not willing to offer him
Okay. This assault, it's going on your record. There's what's called an affirmative finding of family violence. If you pick up another case like this, you will be facing a third-degree felony. Minimum 2 years in a prison, a maximum of 10 years in prison if you ever pick up another assault like this again. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
That's years in prison, not days like you are here. Years. You can never own a gun or ammunition as a result of this as well. There's an affirmative finding of family violence, so no guns, no ammunitions as well. I'm sorry, it's no weapons, right?
Yes.
No weapons. Weapons is a very loose term. If you have any questions about what a weapon is, you have to talk to a lawyer, but be very, very careful. You understand?
Sir.
You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you accept this agreement, you cannot change your mind. You must complete this, and it's a 2-year probation. You understand? How do you plead to the offense? Guilty or not guilty? I will find you guilty, sentence you to 1 year in jail. However, I will probate that for 2 years. You've already done the TRAS, so we don't need to do that, but intensive outpatient treatment, thinking for a change, and the mental health caseload. If you ever have a problem, come back to us here. We can help you if you come here. But if you just leave and don't do anything, that's the worst thing that can happen. Don't leave. Come back. Good things will happen if you come back. Are we okay?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions? Good luck, Mr. Moses. I hope that you can make it. Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Your Honor.
No. You spanned it. Yes, hold on, Mr. D, I forgot something. Hold on, I forgot. Hey, I don't think he's gonna have anything to pay for anything, so we need, we gotta get him. Okay. I have to have you sign one more document that you need to understand, Mr. Moses, that you are now ineligible, meaning that you cannot have a firearm or ammunition. I'm going to read this to you so you understand this, okay? A firearm means any device designated, made, or adapted to expel a projectile through a barrel by using an energy generated by an explosion or burning substance or any device readily convertible to that use. If you now possess a firearm or ammunition, it could lead to charges against you. If you have any questions about how long you will be ineligible, you must talk to a lawyer and they should be able to contact you and consult you about that. I need you to sign this so you understand that you cannot have any more weapons, okay? Okay, all right. Thank you, Mr. Hey, Matt, how are you? Yeah, come on.
Case,
That's the defendant?
yes, that is the defendant, Keener, Keener.
Okay, I see it.
I'm approaching to ask for more time, for a longer reset. This was a case, there was a 2B from December of 22.
Okay.
He posted bond, I think in May of 24, and he didn't hire anyone. He got a bunch of THA resets until August. So, I believe the RIP was just completed this morning and.
Discovery complete?
It is, Judge, I believe.
Is there an offer on the table?
Well, I know the defense can kind of talk to his client about it because I know it's constantly dismissal.
Right, so I wanted some time to go over the discovery myself and with him, and then to.
Yeah, I mean, well, of course we'll give you more time, but at some point there's got to be a resolution.
Absolutely,
So only
Judge.
165 days, so we'll give you another 30 days.
Okay, perfect.
But you got to be nearing,
I'll be on it, Judge.
any offers? No offers?
There's no offers at this time, Your Honor.
Can you put one on, please? And then that way you have something to counter with as well. So, okay, gotcha. Have fun. Brandon. Hey,
Judge, I'm approaching on Mr. Battaglia, B-A-T-T. He was told to do a drug test today. His first setting was last week. And he did test positive for marijuana, nothing else. His first court appearance was last week, though.
you tested?
I'm sorry, Judge?
Test today?
He did.
Okay.
Just marijuana.
Okay, so here,
He's here, Your Honor.
bring him up real quick.
Yes, sir. Mr. Battaglia. And he knows, Judge, he's not doing anything. This is.
Good, I'm just gonna counsel him.
Yes, sir.
I'm not gonna do it anymore.
Did you,
Yes, sir.
did he tell you the results?
I just asked him, I said marijuana. Before I approached.
No, you said that. I didn't say that.
So I thought you confirmed it was marijuana.
No, I've been receiving it.
Okay, that was my misunderstanding.
It has not been confirmed.
Do you have the results?
No, I do not.
Okay, so let's wait on the results, but, okay, so don't use. So I'm not gonna test you after today, assuming it's, just that. I'm not gonna test you anymore until about 40 to 45 days after.
Sorry.
If you test clean after that, wonderful, great. If you continue to test positive for marijuana, that tells us that you're continuing to smoke. No dice. Don't use at all. Don't hang out with anyone that's using. Don't go into a car if people are using.
Can I say something? I don't just use regular marijuana, sir, so,
You're not supposed to use anything that has anything.
I'm just telling you, like, when I was using it, I used concentrated marijuana, so it might test positive after 9 days, but if your second level goes to that, yes, it's positive.
I'm telling you no, Mr. Battaglia, okay? Don't use.
Yes, sir.
Show me somewhere where it says it can still be in your system at 90 days. But otherwise, at 40 to 45 days, I'm going to test you again. Don't use. That tells me that, unless you prove to me otherwise. All right. Okay,
He
Brandon.
also was telling me maybe going to work in Corpus Christi. I know I would need to give you a letter, but
Look, there's no travel restriction. As long as you're not violating the law, you're not picking up any new cases, doing anything to violate your conditions, I don't care where you go.
Thank you.
Just if you get called for a drug test, beware that you might have to take a drug test because he's got randoms,
Yes, sir.
right? So if you're out and about and you get called, you have to go to Quest Diagnostics and get a test there, and then you can send it to Brandon, we'll take that.
Yes, sir.
So that we don't have to come all the way back here.
Yes, sir. Do you want me to reapproach? I apologize, Your Honor. I-
Don't worry about it. We'll have him here. If something that there shouldn't be, I'll text you.
Thank you.
I got your number.
Okay.
Thanks.
Go ahead.
Good morning, ma'am.
Hey, come on up. Good morning, Mr. Wingerter. Sir, you're charged with failure to identify oneself while being a fugitive from justice. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present if you cannot afford one. One will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On October 10th, 2024, officers were dispatched to 350 East NASA Parkway in regard to a burglary alarm that went off. While checking the location, officers observed the defendant walking away from the business on the southeast side and ordered him to stop. Upon contact with the defendant advised he did not have an ID and gave the false name of Javier Vasquez, as well as a false date of birth. The officers gave the defendant an opportunity to give his real name twice, but the defendant asserted he was not lying both times. A pat down of the defendant revealed a glass pipe in his left pocket, and he was arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia. Subsequent to that, a fingerprint search was then conducted, which revealed the defendant's real name and showed he had an active warrant with the Harris County Sheriff's Office.
All right, Mr. Wingerter, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Planning on bonding out.
Ask for a PR bond.
Have you been given a PR bond in this case? Okay. I tell you that I think that everyone, at least one time, should be given and afforded the opportunity to do something right. And I will grant you a PR bond now. But if you take flight, if you take off and you don't come back, I'm going to be very hard pressed in the future. Do you understand? Here's the other thing though. I'm not going to give you a PR bond so you can just run the streets and just hang out on the street. I got to know that you have somewhere to go, someone that's going to care for you. You have somewhere to sleep, not just on the side of the street. Who do you have in your life that's with you now?
My uncle, my aunt, I can stay with them. They also got a place I can go.
How old are you? How old are you? 26. Where's mom and dad?
I haven't talked to my mom while she was in jail last time I checked, and she hasn't.
She was in jail for what?
It was a charge, and she got picked up on a charge. I haven't spoken to her. My father, he works out of town, but I can stay with him too.
Where's he living?
Where's he stay? He does industrial radiology. He goes out of town, Mexico. That's where I'm certified to work too, but I just need to get the job. But right now he's staying off of 249 in Fallbrook. There, I can catch a bus over there.
You're saying your dad lives in 249 in Fallbrook now?
My grandparents. Yeah, he stays there with my grandparents, and I can go stay there right now.
So let's do this. I've appointed Mr. Elick to represent you. I'd like to be able to verify that so that we know that you have a place to go to. And if so, I want to give you a PR bond. But like I said, I'm not giving you a PR bond so you can just run the street and create and wreak even more havoc. You have 2 open felonies now. I'm going to keep a very, very close eye on you, where you're going, what you're doing, so you don't get in trouble and so you're not using what they're alleging is being used. No dope, no alcohol, and I'm going to test you like crazy to make sure that you're not using.
Sure.
Do you understand? Okay, so do you mind?
I
And then
can step out and call.
Assuming, then I'll give him a PR bond.
Okay.
Yeah, Absolutely.
And I think he's no bonded on his felonies right now, so that could change,
Oh.
but, so it's not like he's gonna just get out anyway.
I didn't-
You know,
Okay. I guess let's do that regardless, if you don't mind, Mr. Ehrlich. Let's
Sure,
see if
I'll-
he has a place to go to,
I'll-
and,
we approach one side.
okay, this is not a good way to go through, man. You're 26. You want to follow in mom's footsteps? That's not a good role model, man. This is not a good way to go. You're starting your life now. You have one felony dismissed. You now have another 2 felonies. Life doesn't get easier. It gets harder. The more felonies you rack up, you think you can make life easier for you? Come on, man.
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to call anybody right now. I'm knocking down the bus and go straight to my grandparents. I don't have their numbers, but I know, I mean, if I was, you know, I wanted to, I know I could go straight to.
What about your grandmother? You gave me her number.
I could call her, but she's not in town.
Give him something so that we have something to work with. We're not just going to throw you out, and we did that 2 times before. Look, you don't have to say anything. We just don't want you to floating on the street doing nothing. That's it. All right.
I don't want to.
I'll reapproach, Your Honor.
Thanks, Mr. Okay, hey,
Have a plea on a lorry over here.
okay. Come up, Miss Luna.
Judge, there's an amendment to the plea. The state defense agreed to 40 hours of community service if the court so agrees.
What are we doing? What have you guys worked out?
You're deferred, Judge. Plea on one, dismiss the other.
What about the weapons?
Forfeiture of both.
Did you graduate from high school?
Yes, sir.
What are you doing now?
Very good.
When is the last time you've had a full-time job? How old are you?
18.
What have you been doing with your life?
I graduated early.
If you graduated early, that must indicate you're somewhat smart. Mr. Luna, you're building yourself a future now. You're supposed to be working your butt now so that you have $1 million when you hit 40 to 50, perhaps 2 million, because otherwise you're going to be destitute when you hit that age. And I'm going to tell you now, life sucks without money. It really, really does. And what you're doing now is building yourself a life so that you have something when you get old and no one can take care of you and you're all decrepit. It's going to be really hard. I want to do this because I'm going to make sure that he's going to do something productive with your life. You now, within 30 days, must get a full-time job. And I'm going to make sure, because I'm going to make you come, and I'd like to know for certain whether he's got a job within 30 days. No drugs, no alcohol. I'm going to test you. Do you understand? I want to make sure that you're building yourself somewhat, that you're doing something. What about a trade?
That's my third card. I'm waiting on it to come back and then.
Great. When are you going to get the results on that?
It can take up to 60 days. It's been a month.
Call him back. Call him back. Find out what happened. Find out what's taking him so long. Don't just sit there and wait for someone to hand you something. It's not going to happen. You got to go get it. So we're doing a year deferred. What else? What's up?
40 hours community service, Judge.
You were charged with 2 counts of unlawful carrying of a weapon. You're facing up to a year in jail on each of those cases. You worked out an agreement where they're offering you a 1-year deferred
Deferred is a type of probation that if you complete it successfully, you do not end up with a conviction on your record. And in exchange, you're going to dismiss one of your cases. What you need to understand, Mr. Luna, is you give up nearly every right known to man by entering this agreement. And if you fail at this agreement, you authorize us to put you in jail for an entire year. 365 days in jail if you violate this probation. Do you understand? I want you to do well, and I'll make you a deal that if you work and you do well, I'll take you off in half the time as a reward for doing well. And I'll make you a double reward. If you are able to get into a trade school education or some kind of trade like that, I will deem your community service hours waived. I'm taking off 100 hours of community service if you get into a trade school. Like pipe fitting, what's the other one? Welding. That's what you do. Because that's where you can make a lot of money. $20 an hour, $25 an hour. Kill it. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you accept this agreement, you're stuck with this until you complete it or violate it. If you violate this agreement, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. I'm going to bring you back here, and we're going to talk about whether you violated it or not. And if you did, you're looking at an entire year. Do you understand? How do you plead to the offense of a lawful carrying of a weapon? I will not find you guilty. I will withhold that for a year. Part of the other agreement is that you will do thinking for a change, substance abuse education, no weapons, no drugs, no alcohol, forfeiture of the weapons. And I think that's it.
Did you get, the chief had mentioned that we agreed to 40 as opposed to 100 hours, Judge?
He did just say that, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
He's sitting back there.
Oh,
I marked it on here.
yes, Your Honor.
But like I said, if you get into a trade school, get an education for some kind of trade like that, I'll deem it waived. I'll take it off. Do something with your life, Mr. Lumen. Don't be like these. All right, man. Good luck. If you ever have an issue, come back and talk to us. Don't just take off, because that's the worst possible thing you could do. All right? And don't pick up a new case. Okay, guys?
Thank you, Judge.
Ma'am. Ms. Tillis, you're not going to look at me? Are you that upset? Shh. What's going on?
She had the older case, she picked up the new case. We do not have video on the newer case yet. However, the state has made an offer to time serve her on the older case and dismiss the newer one.
How long have you been in custody, ma'am?
A month and a half. She has 114 days credit on the older case, or she's been in for 114 days total on the older case and 55 on the new one.
Life, man. What do you do in life? Do you work? Do you go to school? Who do you live with?
I'm not able to complete school because I don't have the correct resources. I take care of my younger sister.
And she also
I
receives,
don't want you to plead guilty just to get out of jail. I don't want that to happen, because it's only hurting you even more than you are right now. But if I let you out, you've picked up 2 criminal mischief cases.
Pick up a job.
How old are you? Who do you have in your life now? Is your mom around? Ms. Tillis, I want to let you out, but I have to know that I'm not going to let you out to the street. I'm trying to talk to you to get to know you in the little time that I have to see how much I can trust you if I let you out. I'm sorry?
It's been a long trial and I'm tired.
Who do you have in your life that's ready to help you now if we let you out? Yourself. Do you have any parents around?
Judge, mom is around, she's just not in the picture.
Father? Do you have anyone in your life that's ready to help you out and give you a place to live?
We can set her up to go to the Harris Health Center.
I don't know if she knows what she's doing.
Okay.
I mean, we're not gonna do this just to let you get out of the street because the street is not a safe place for you.
I don't have contact with him, on a regular basis, but
Who are you living with before you picked up these two cases? Where? Did you have an apartment? Did you have?
house.
Who owned the house? I don't know if I feel comfortable. I don't want you to plead guilty just to get out, ma'am. But if you give me a place that you have that they'll take you in, I'll let you out. Will you talk to Anna to see what we can do to try to help you find housing?
I can't get housing.
Why not?
I have a SSI, but my SSI has been getting taken.
Do you have any other family members in your life that can help you out to give you a place to stay? Aunts, uncles, who?
I have a grandfather.
Is that someone that we can reach out to and speak to? Do you have the number that we can have Anna call and verify? And
What is it called?
Her property at the jail.
I can't.
you don't know the phone number by heart? Do you know any phone numbers?
Judge, if you'd like, we can roll this a couple of days and I can reach out to the next social worker to have them.
I'm looking now for a phone number. I have one, but I don't know if that's her phone number or someone else's phone number. I'm going through all the paperwork now to see if I can find anything. Is this 7599, is that your number?
Yeah, the last four.
I don't want you to say it out loud now, but the last four numbers, do you know what your phone number is?
Right, but do you know the number? There's a number that's on the paperwork.
That's my emergency contact.
Okay,
Wonderful. Can you reach out to that? And I'm going to give it to you now.
I can do that, Judge.
Okay, can you please reach out to that, please? And then, if we can find her housing, I'll give her a piano fund. I don't want to just plead guilty just to plead guilty to get out, okay? I want find anything so that we can do it. And if we can have her talk to social worker, figure out housing and help with the SSI back so that she has some kind of income coming in. This is the phone number I have. And then if you maybe 2 days, let's not take long. If you need any help, if you need any kind, like if you need investigative money to find any kind of relative for her, just anything you need. Hey.
Just wait on my time for a plea, Judge.
Okay. Yeah.
You're moving inside of it?
That's a no-go. Jeremiah Julian. Good morning, Mr. Julian. Oof. Oof. So you were on bond for an unlawful carrying of a weapon, a felony PCS, a criminal trespass with a deadly weapon, failure to ID, and then another unlawful carrying of a weapon. So you have a total of 4 open cases. What are we doing?
It's time served on one of the unlawful carry of weapon cases, and they're dismissing the others, Judge. He'll still have to resolve his felony.
And that's still open at this point?
Yes, Judge.
As part of the agreement is forfeiture of the weapon, I would presume.
Yes, Judge. George was pretty specific about that.
Okay, so Mr. Julian, you've worked out just a tremendous deal. They're going to dismiss 3 of the cases in exchange for your plea on one of them, okay? What you really need to understand is that this charge is going to go on your record, and you will be facing a minimum of 90 days in jail for any weapons that you pick up. Or I'm sorry, any cases that you pick up, you're looking at a minimum of 90 days in jail. Do you understand? This charge will go on your record. It's going to be there for the rest of your life. You can never take it off. You give up all your rights, basically entering into this plea bargain agreement saying, look, I don't want a trial. I don't want to talk to witnesses. I don't want to confront and cross-examine my accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. So once you plead guilty, you can never undo this or change this. It will go on your record and it'll be there forever. Is this what you want to do? How do you plead to the offense of unlawful carrying of a weapon? You also need to understand is that the weapons in all of these cases will be forfeit. You will not get them back.
But that was only for one case. The case that I had.
That's for all cases.
Okay, yes. Can I tell you something? I mean,
sure.
I don't know if I can speak. Because sometimes they say don't speak to the lawyer, the judge.
Are you talking about the facts of your cases?
Yes.
So you can't, he's not going to do anything about the facts of your cases. That's a separate issue.
I want to tell you this, like the new cases that I just caught, I was trying to do a non-arrest bond, and I had caught a case at my house. Like, this is my home address, and they told me I was trespassing basically at my home. And then the gun was my mother's. And
you're dismissing all those cases. You know what I mean? So you're only pleading to one of the cases, and they're dismissing the other 3. So if you're not pleading guilty to those cases, they're dismissing all of them. So the problem is that part of the plea bargain is that you can't get these guns back. At least 2 of them. We only have 2, right? Yeah. You can't get those back, though. Okay. Do you understand that? Yes. Okay. Do you still want to do this? All right. How do you plead to the offense? I will find you guilty, sentence you to 10 days in jail. I'll give you credit for the 8 days that you've done. Unfortunately, we still have you here because you still have your case upstairs. Just be careful. If you get on probation, take it seriously because you're facing a lot of time. Okay? All right, good luck, Mr. Julian.
Thank you, Judge.
Take care. Thank you.
I'm re-approaching on Mr. Wingerter. I did speak with his father. His father doesn't really live here. I think he comes back and forth, you know. He did. I didn't actually get that. I was kind of just asking more, you know, would he have a place to stay? And, you know, it's kind of a yes and no at this point. I think, well, they want him, you know, I think they wanted to.
Morning, Ms. Berry. Okay, Mr. Berry, we're bringing you out now because your lawyer has asked for me to set you a bond.
Yes, sir.
I don't know. You know, I've got 2 main concerns. First, most importantly, are you a danger to my public? And number 2, equally as important, are you going to go back to the jurisdiction you're wanted from?
Just wait. No.
I'll give you a chance. I know that you're going to tell me that it's gumdrops and rainbows and you know, I get it.
Sir.
But the way that I get to know you is how you look on paper. because that tells me who you are.
Sir.
Not what's in here, because a lot of people tell me things, and when they walk out the door, they turn into someone completely different.
Sir.
And so that will really tell me who you are.
Sir.
Okay? I will give you the opportunity to speak. I'm going to give her the opportunity to speak as well. I'd like to know, number one, where is he wanted from, what for, and what kind of priors does he have?
Yes, Judge. He's wanted out of Fulton County, Georgia. On the front cover of the fugitive page, it states that he's wanted for theft of taking, but I did a little bit of digging, and it looks like he's wanted for 4 felonies out of the same transaction. I don't know why they didn't include it on the teletype or running his FBI number to confirm. He's wanted additionally for second-degree felony criminal damage to property and two charges for unlawful person employed by or associated with criminal street gang to conduct and participate in criminal activity through commission of offense. It's a very, very long charge name. But it looks like it was the same offenses that he was originally wanted and he was extradited for back in 2022. I guess he either absconded or violated them again, but it looks to be open cases. And specifically addressing bond is that the state would be opposed for him granting a bond. In the past 10 years alone, not excluding other states and anything past that, he's been arrested.
Now this is a completely different kind of tension. Flight risk versus second chances. The prosecution is stacking up history, arrests, felonies, prior violations. The defense? Arguing this was just a clerical error. Here's the reality. Judges don't just decide based on words, they decide based on patterns. And once trust is broken in court, it's incredibly hard to earn it back. Let me ask you, if someone claims they've changed but their record says otherwise, who do you believe?
21 times, 12 of them felonies, 2 revocations of paroles, and 3 evadings, 2 felonies and 1 misdemeanor. I believe he's a definition of a flight and safety risk, and due to that fact, we request that the court deny bond.
Your Honor, if I may. So in regards to the telegram, because obviously the state has their duty, I have my duty as defense attorney. All of the other charges that were not on that telegram were dismissed. The case was reduced to theft. This case has been pending since God knows when, because Fulton County is a very slow court. Your Honor, here as I stand with the same client, I stood before you 2 years ago asking for a bond for my client to go back. He granted a bond, Your Honor. And when he granted that bond, my client did what you would want anyone to do, which is turn himself in, appear in court. They gave him another court date. However, no, once he checked himself in, he was able to bond out of Fulton County. Since then, that case has still been pending. He has an attorney in that county as well. However, throughout the times, my client moved. The issue was that there was supposed to be an updated address change to the court. So there was a court date, I believe around August the 12th. And because they did not update his address, the notice was sent to his old address. They immediately issued a warrant. So my client was actually picked up when he came back from work. He didn't even know that he had a warrant. And I understand the state's position that my client does have an extensive history. I was also his parole attorney, which he was successfully discharged from as well. I know Mr. Berry, and I could stand for him before this court. Anybody that I have stood before you has always, I'm not going to take a client that's going to embarrass me or embarrass you. He came, last time you allowed and granted a bond. He did exactly what he's supposed to do. And if you do it this time, he would do that again.
I don't give bonds 2 times in a row. And I counsel people every single time when they come here that if I give you a bond now, it's not going to happen again. It's your responsibility. You've been a fugitive once. We don't let you do it over and over and over. I gave you a bond last time. I can't keep doing it because you're going to keep, it's the same thing's going to keep happening.
It's not, sir, I promise you.
I get it, but it did. And I told you last time, but it's not going to happen again.
Yes, sir. Can I talk to you, please?
But Your Honor, it was not, so this.
How do I know that?
So I'm telling you this because I'm also an officer of the court and I've done my research, Your Honor. It was not his fault. It was not. It was just a mistake of address. That's the only reason why. I've been checking in with my client.
He's supposed to update them of any changes of address.
Can you speak for that part?
Please talk to me, please.
So what I would do is reach out to Fulton County, let them know, and hopefully they'll pull the warrant. They'll pull the whole. Will they not?
So, Your Honor, I've had history with this county. They're very slow.
Yes.
It's very difficult.
Have you done work there?
Huh?
You've done work there?
For other clients.
Really?
Yes. Your Honor, can you just listen? Can you just hear him out as to
I'm
why?
happy to hear you. Please, Your
So
Honor.
with the regarding that you did update your address,
Yes.
typically address that.
Yes. Your Honor, the last time you gave me this bond, you told me to get a job and you told me to change my life.
and I did that. I completed CDL school. I work every day.
Wonderful.
They put me on insulin. I take insulin 2 times a day. I can't, the way that they expedite you there, I'll be sick by the time I make it. My flight has already been in the process of being booked, like you told me to left.
You can't take a flight.
To turn myself in?
You have a warrant. If you try to get on an airplane, they're gonna take you into
They let
custody.
me last time, you let me out. They let me take it. I turned, okay, the address, I updated it, Your Honor. And,
How do I know that?
I mean, I didn't, I've had.
Am I supposed to take your word for it?
I was honest with you last time about everything.
And that's why I gave you a bond. And I told you though, the last time, it's not gonna happen again.
But you said if I messed up, and I did not mess up, Your Honor. I did good, Your Honor. I promise you.
But now
You gave me 10 days to turn myself in. I turned myself in 6 days.
Your Honor, it was really because of the address change. And
Please, Your
So
Honor.
if you're not going to at least believe him, you can hopefully.
It's not a matter of belief or disbelief.
Okay.
It's a matter of that we cannot continue to enable. That's what it is. And if I do this now, who's to say it's not gonna happen a third time?
It's not, Your Honor.
Because-
Told me that the
They dismissed
first
my
time.
cases.
They
They dismissed 3 of the cases, Your
So
Honor.
from the time of this charge was pending, 3 of those cases were dismissed, Your Honor, and then the other cases were dismissed at that. Clearly, the
Yes,
reason
sir.
why it's pending is because they don't have anything, but it's not.
So what? I mean, why can't you do a speedy trial? Ask for a speedy trial.
So he has an attorney on that court. It's just the court's very small and it moves very different.
But what I can assure you is, it was just a mere mistake, Your Honor, like.
So I just want to step in real quick, because I've had one before where they stated it was a clerical error, and I want to say only one time out of all the other times I approached where it was a genuine clerical error, once they corrected it in the demanding jurisdiction is they removed the warrant. I've had that happen before. So if the court wants to roll it over for a day, and if counsel wants to contact Fulton County to figure out if it was truly a clerical error and it was a misunderstanding of where it was to be shipped out for
I
notice.
think what they're saying is that there was a problem where he's saying that he updated the address, but they didn't do it.
Sure, and that's what I mean, is if there was an error, right, with the court in
Can
Fulton
reach out to them and see if that's the case?
Well, you can Google it, Your Honor. It was a glitch in Atlanta's.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Berry, how did you update your address?
I called a bond company. That's what they entrusted me to do.
Update it, right?
Well, so I don't really talk for their system, but that's what I mean, is if it's a mistake on the court, right, and not the defendant.
What I would do is get into contact with the bail bond company and say, hey, man, this is what we did. You didn't do it the right way. We're gonna, if you don't fix this, there's a bail bond board that you can report activities to in the event that they mess up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Please. You're giving them one. I can't do it again. I never do, ever,
It's 3 days and I'll be there.
Well, and it is also worth noting, it's probably good to update on the front end because he's on a deferred in our county before they revoke, because there was a warrant issued out.
Also on deferred here?
He is.
For what?
For possession of controlled substance.
A list in the ground.
So, but the fact that he's open on deferred and no one has filed a motion to revoke, because initially all they see is the capias issued on August 15th. They haven't filed a motion yet, but that's my point, is before anything else happens, if counsel does want to correct it for both reasons, for the extradition and for the local deferred, it's probably 2 birds, 1 stone to call Fulton County and figure out what happened with the court there.
Try that.
Can we roll it tomorrow?
Yes, absolutely. Of course. I would reach out to the bonding company, say, hey, man, I did this. You guys messed up. Fix this. Otherwise, we can file a complaint. You're telling me you did. If you did, then that's the right thing to do.
I mean, I'm begging you, sir. I'm insulin independent now, and life has changed for me. I know I got in trouble in the past, but you instructed me to do something, and I done it step by step. I changed my life, everything, Your Honor. And sir,
the entire time I've been here, I've never once given a second bond.
So, Your Honor, if I may, if we
Sure.
do get information.
I will never say no, but I don't know. I mean,
Well, I'd rather take I don't know than no, so.
right. I don't know. I never want to say no, because you never know what someone else is going to provide you to show you that really it's not his fault. And if it's not, then,
Like I said, I've had it happen before where the court demanding
if
jurisdiction.
it's really not his fault, would you post?
please.
No, but don't please, don't beg.
Yes.
Because last time we went in, you don't.
Yeah,
Let's see what they have. Let's go from there. And I don't want to commit you to an answer. That's really not fair.
Yeah,
So-
and in the spirit of transparency, I do show that he hasn't had any violations since he entered in the deferred, because it was concurrent with dismissal of the others. So other than this, there have been no other violations. It was September of 2022, but it's just with the sheer amount of history, because it's one of the longest I've seen, that's my concern. And
Saying he's been doing good.
well, that's what,
He's
so,
been doing very good.
right, so that's what I mean.
Early termination for me, sir.
So that's the thing, it's just
Okay.
please.
So I want information from the court, because ultimately in the end, it's not whether, it's not the, how they prosecute the case, it's whether he's wanted and whether the KBS is true.
Diligence.
So-
Let me see what you got and let's talk.
Okay, we can.
Never gonna, well, I'm not saying never, because I always put my foot in my mouth, but let's see what, and we can regroup. Okay?
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Barry.
I'll see you tomorrow.